What's happening, guys? Coach Chris here with my good friend and student, Danny Hooker Hayes. I'm here today in Billingham as we're about to have an event on March 17. That's right, we're having a catch as catch can, no holds barred event on March 17, and this man's the main event. He's taking on a guy who's coming all the way over from Scandinavia. You know, this event is not to be missed. But right now I want to speak to you about something else. I want to speak to you about my new book that will also be released on March 17, St. Patrick's Day. You know, St. Patrick's Day, Ireland, luck. What's the name of the book? The name of the book is You're Fucking Lucky. That's right, because you're fucking lucky. I'm lucky, we're all lucky. If you're watching this now, you're blessed, you're lucky. Why? It means you're either here with me, which is good anyway, you're getting to listen to this, or you have internet connection. If you have internet connection, that means you're one of the richest people on planet Earth. You know, if you have food in your fridge, you're in the top 5% of the richest people on planet Earth. Let's not forget that. You know, the media can easily bring you down, social media, people's expectations, and your own limit and beliefs. It's not about limits and beliefs, it's about smashing them. It's about smashing through them and getting rid of anything that's negative. It's time to break free from the shackles of mediocrity. It's time to live like a champion. When you realize that you're fucking lucky, things change, your entire life changes. You start to attract more good fortune. You've got to believe, you know, the look of the Irish. Do you want the look of the Irish? Of course you do. Well, get this book. This book, the reason I've chosen the name You're Fucking Lucky is, I'll take you back to a little story from June of 2014. Now, I was out in Los Angeles. I was out to compete in the main event of the event that was named USA versus the World. It was USA versus the world, and I was out there with a good friend of mine, Amin Nazar. You know, our flight had arrived late. We had to get up early on this particular morning, and we had to go out to the Fox TV studios to film for Good Morning LA. You know, so we got there early, did our TV stuff. We were tired. You know, things weren't going that well at the time. We didn't get our sponsors. We were promised sponsors to get us out to the US. That didn't materialize, so I didn't pay my mortgage for a couple of months. We scrimped, we scraped. We took some Herbalife shakes over, and we had enough food to get put together for one meal a day. This wasn't ideal preparations for an event of that magnitude, and I kind of did feel a little down, to tell you the truth. But anyway, after this filming, we went over to Venice Beach. We thought we'll get in the sea, you know, we'll walk in the sun, we'll relax, have some downtime before competing. Then as Amin and myself are walking along, I hear somebody shouting in the distance. You know, there's a lot of crazy guys about in Venice Beach this time of the morning. You know, lots of like down and outs, drug addicts and whatnot. And I hear somebody shouting to me in his American accent, "You're fucking lucky, you're fucking lucky." And I'm looking forward and I see a man. The man was sat as I'm sat now. You know, he had a long ponytail, he was unshaven, and he was jacked. He had a vest on. This man looked like he was in incredible shape, and he was screaming louder and louder, "You're fucking lucky!" And he was pointing directly at me. I looked behind, I thought, this man's talking to me. He was sipping a bottle of Budweiser, and then the next thing that happened, the next thing I witnessed, shocked me, I'll never forget. I looked down, and there were many, many bottles of Budweiser by his side, but I noticed that he had a prosthetic leg. And instantly, you know, I felt bad for this guy. I thought to myself, you know, maybe he was a war hero. I can imagine he was the main man in his regiment, you know, a big, tough-looking guy. Maybe he's a vet from Afghanistan or Iraq or something. And I felt so sorry for him. I turned to Amin as we walked past. I said, "Amin, I feel really, really bad for this guy." And then in an instant, out the corner of my eye, another guy comes past. He has a prosthetic leg, and he's wheeling himself. He's training. You know, he doesn't give two fucks. He's not shouting anything. He's not drinking. He's getting on with it. And I said, "Amin, what were the odds of us being here today on Venice Beach and witnessing this?" I said, "That man there was screaming, 'You're fucking lucky.' I said, he's chose to be a victim. He chose the victim card. That other gentleman, he's choose to be a victor." I said, "And this is for us. We can choose that in our life. Are we going to be victims or are we going to be victor?" And that spoke to me massively. I can remember when I got back home, I remember thinking to myself, you know, I'm not bothered that I don't have a car. I'm not bothered that I'm banned from driving. I'm not bothered that not many people are coming to train with me. You know, I'd walk to class. I'd walk 6 miles. I'd take the class, I'd join in, I'd do a 3-hour training session, and I'd jog back. There was like a mantra, "You're fucking lucky, you're fucking lucky." And to fast forward to now, things have changed massively in this in this relatively short space of time. You know, my school is booming. We have, you know, well over 100 people training with us regularly on a weekly basis. We have people working with us online. We have academies springing up all around the world. I've been back to the United States competing many times. I've done well competing successfully here also. I'm training great people. I'm getting out into my community. I'm making a difference. We have programs where we're training people, you know, that can't afford it. We're letting them come on free of charge, and we're doing everything we can. But it all stems from that day. I really believe it all stemmed from that day when I heard that man, you know, when I heard him shout, scream those words to me, because I knew that I was fucking lucky, and you're fucking lucky too, and that man's lucky. And when this book's printed, I'm going to go back to Venice Beach, I'm going to find this man, and I'm going to give him the book, and I'm going to thank him from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to tell him that he's fucking lucky too. What do you think about that, Danny Hooker Hayes?
Definitely, brother. I'd just like to say, I've had pleasure of knowing Chris for over 1.5 years now, and it's changed my life, changed everyone's life who I've seen walk through that door. If what he does works, if you'll give him the time, he will spin you around, whatever you want, to get martial arts, life coaching, whatever. The environment at LPW now is mint, and it's only getting better and better as it goes, stems from Chris, everything. And just like I said, get the book and just see for yourself. He's worn it, he's been there, worn the t-shirt, he knows what he's talking about in every which way. Just trust me on this. Thank you very much.
You know, trust me, I can turn frogs into princes. I can do anything, you know. No pressure, no diamonds. You know, I was reading something last week. It said, we're all stood in the middle of an acre of diamonds. We have so much potential, so much ability that we're not using. And our subconscious mind is powerful. Think about it. If you cut your finger, you don't tell your finger to heal. It heals automatically. Your heart keeps beating when you're asleep on a night. You know, human beings, we're the top of the food chain. You know, we can achieve absolutely anything with hard work, with commitment, with determination, discipline, and with gratitude. It's all about gratitude. You're going to learn about all these things in the books. You know, some of these tales are dark. They're from the past. From when I was 17 years old, someone ran me over, hit me in the head with an axe, tried to leave me for dead. You know, I'm fighting for my life. Other times I've been attacked by a gang with baseball bats, and I've fought through it. I've carried on. I refused to quit. I was told I couldn't box again because of having a brain injury where I almost died. So I did something different. I flew out to Brazil to learn from the greatest fighting family in the world, the Gracie family. I learned a new sport. I learned jiu-jitsu. I changed. You know, that's what sometimes that's happening with you in your life. You know, if you come across a block, you got to smash through it. If you can't find a way, well, make one, Hannibal said. You can always make a way, or you can just smash right through it. You have to alter your steps sometimes. It's not all going to be plain sailing. But that's life, isn't it? You know, you got to take the rough with the smooth. You have to learn to roll with the punches, and you have to learn to enjoy every step of the way. Because life's a fight, isn't it? You know, it's all about getting stuck in and always fighting one more round. Because the man who's always willing to fight one more round is never whipped. So I'm going to leave you with that. The man who's always willing to fight one more round is never whipped. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, get the book. You're fucking lucky.